Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. I'm just going to wait for some of you guys to tune in. Come on in. Come on in. I was out of state yesterday, so I couldn't go live yesterday. So I decided to go live today before I started my day. Um, Marijuana says, I called you, but no answer. Call again, 407-995-567. We're in the office right now, and someone should be able to answer your call. If not, send a message and like you can send a DM with your phone number so someone can call you, or you can send a WhatsApp text 404 333 8751. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Let me just quickly type in phone number. Phone number. I can't multitask, guys. So meaning I can't I can't talk and type at the same time. Or so just give me a second to type this in. While we're in there, say hi in the comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time, definitely let me know so I can give you a shout out. Um, Okay, so pin. So someone is asking what's your number again. I just put it in there. I'm gonna pin it. And real quick, this is my only number. So if you're on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok, my phone number is 407-995-6567. You can also send a WhatsApp. It's 404-333-8751. These are the only two numbers that you can use to book a consultation. If somebody else is giving you another number saying, book a consultation with this number. This is Aisha Chidole. It is not me, so make sure you don't get scammed. If you're on Instagram and you don't see a blue check mark on my name and immigration attorney Aisha is spelled incorrectly, it is not me. I want to make sure nobody gets scammed. Hi, confident, first time, the real estate concierge from Atlanta. Welcome. All right, guys. So if you don't know me or this is your first time, my name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration lawyer. I represent clients all over the United States and internationally with U.S. immigration, so humanitarian cases, family-based cases. Your location really isn't a problem. We help clients in all states. To schedule a call, again, number is 407-995-6567, WhatsApp 404 333-8751. Today, I don't have any topics. I'm just really going to be answering questions that you guys have. Somebody is asking, how long does USCIS take to process a G1450 for adjustment of status payments? The answer is it depends. It used to be much quicker. Everything is so slow now. And assuming that, I'm not sure what kind of application you filed. So it also depends on what processing center your stuff is being sent to. But I would say at this point, we're seeing more of like 5 to 9 weeks, where before it used to be like 3 to 6 weeks. 5 to 9 weeks is what we're seeing on average for cases to be, processed. So make sure you don't swipe your, G1450 while you're waiting, just so that your payment doesn't decline. Because if your payment declines, they will not rerun your card. They will just send your packet back, and sometimes that could now hold you back several more weeks and delay your case. Okay. Hi, good morning, Janelle from Miami. And then Mex on YouTube says, my first prima facie expired May 2023. I haven't gotten a new one. Could it be a problem? No, that's not a problem. Normally, they're a bit delayed when they send renewed prima facies, and you don't need to notify USCIS. They will automatically send it to you. As long as you have a prima facie, that doesn't change. That will come. So just give it a minute to get to you, okay? Still winning. Bless says, can I get a passport with a permanent resident? I don't know if you're asking for a passport from your home country or from the US, but from the US, no, you cannot, because you're not a US citizen. And if you claim to be a U.S. citizen by filling out any application for a passport, you'll be banned from ever becoming a U.S. citizen. So make sure you never claim to be a U.S. citizen and you never try to get a blue passport until you actually have a naturalization certificate to the United States in your hand. If you're talking about passports for your home country, of course you can get a passport. You should have a passport. Ebenezer says, I'm an F1 student. What is the best and the easiest way to get a green card? Green cards, the easiest way to, there's no best way because getting a green card is a green card. The best thing is to have a green card no matter which route gets you there. But the easiest way is, of course, through family relations. So if you have an immediate family member that can petition for you, or not necessarily an immediate family member, but you can stay in status while they petition for you, that would be the easiest way. Otherwise, if you're an F1 student, you can always try, doing your OPT. And when you do your OPT, you can try and see if your employer will sponsor you for an H-1B. And with the H-1B, you can, of course, go that route and possibly get your green card that way. Extra bonus points if you have a STEM major, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. Because if you have that, you have like 3 years of occupational training, which allows you basically 3 chances of getting yourself that green card. Okay. All right. Let's see. Somebody's asking for my number again. It's right there in the pin. So you should be able to see it. I've been waiting on VAWA for 19 months now. No request for evidence, but only 2 prima facies. JACA fam, I wouldn't be concerned. That is a normal timeline. Most VAWA cases take 2 years to 2.5 years, so 19 months is really normal. I mean, sometimes some people get lucky and they'll get it approved within like 18 to 24 months, but more people get it between 24 to the 30-month mark. So you're fine. And immigration is one of those where if you're still within the timeline of processing and you don't receive an RFE or an NOID, this is one of those cases of no news is good news. So I wouldn't be concerned about anything. Just, try to be patient. Hopefully you have a work permit and a travel permit to hold you off while that's happening. Okay. Good morning, Brandon. How are you? M. Portia says, I'm struggling to find a sponsor, but I'm almost there. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I pray you find somebody very soon that can sponsor you. Sponsorship, in this case, I assume you're talking about someone to do your financial affidavit of support. It's not easy because for a lot of people, they're worried, about, committing financially, but hopefully, you'll find someone that's willing to do that for you. Akinola Janada says, after receiving my C31, which means basically an approved VAWA EAD, I received another letter, I-693 deficiency notice. So what next am I going to expect again? So basically, if you received a request for an I-693, that is basically your medical. Typically with VAWA cases, after you're approved, because, if you don't have medicals, they will request your medicals and they can typically make a decision without you coming to an interview. I want to put a caveat here. Sometimes, and we're seeing that more recently, I would say in the last 2 or 3 months, even though you get an I-693 RFE request, it does not automatically mean that they're going to approve you for a green card without an interview. Because we've seen people where they got the I-693 for the medical, but they still schedule them for an interview. So technically, I think I lost signal on Instagram. If you guys can still see me on Instagram, can you just let me know, as wave or something, let me know that you can see me on Instagram. But as I was saying, so yes, you can, you can still potentially expect to have an interview, but you also have a good chance that if you send the medical, that they may approve you for your green card without the interview. Okay. This person, Debe, says, good morning, Aisha. I'm married to an LPN. Do you mean an LPR? in my mind, I'm thinking LPM, licensed practicing nurse. Do you mean like a legal permanent resident? So if you mean you're married to a legal permanent resident and you're currently out of status, when I send in my I-130, can I also apply for work permit and social and my social? Well, the answer is going to depend on one, what is your own current status? So generally, if you're married to a legal permanent resident, you cannot adjust your status if you have worked without authorization, or you are if you've worked without authorization, or you're no longer in status, meaning that you've stayed here more than the time that was required on your I-94. Now, if you've never worked without authorization and you're married to a green card holder, and your visas are current, and you are in status, then you can do an adjustment of status at the same time as the I-130, and then also do a work permit and a travel permit application. This doesn't apply to you if you're a U.S. citizen. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can apply immediately, whether you're out of status, as long as you entered into the United States with some form of inspection. You can apply for adjustment of status while you're applying for your I-130, and also while you're not supposed to work, as you should know. Technically, these are things that USCIS will generally forgive when you're married to a US citizen if you do work, but you should never, ever claim to be a US citizen, because that is like a permanent bar to getting a green card. Okay. Okay. Let me answer some on Instagram. Sophia says, please, how do I book to speak with you? My number is right there, pinned. It's 407-995-6567. It's right there, and it's also in my profile, so you can just call and, they will book you. Someone said, is it true that American citizens cannot file for siblings? No, it is not true. As an American citizen, you can file for your sibling. What is true is that it takes a really, really, really long time. So a lot of people don't do it because most siblings maybe are not willing to wait that long, or just life, because you're looking at anywhere from 16 to 18 years in any given application for siblings. It takes a really long time because visas are not usually readily available. 2096 says this is their first time. Welcome. Do you have to have a psychological evaluation to win a VAWA case? My friend sent her VAWA application without a psychological evaluation. She's worried. She got her prima facie and work authorization. So again, the question is, do you have to have a psychological evaluation to win a VAWA case? The answer is no. You do not need a psychological evaluation to win a VAWA case, especially if you have other supported evidence to indicate that you were in an extremely cruel or abusive relationship. And in this case, it could be marriage, parental relationship, or child and parent relationship. Now, if you really struggle with physical evidence, and a lot of your evidence is based on your testimony and the emotional and psychological effect of what happened to you by this relationship, I will say that it is recommended to have a psychological evaluation, because it will not hurt but help your case. But again, if you don't have it, that does not mean that your case will be denied. It is just helpful when, you can. Okay. My friend's prima facie is out, I guess he was trying to say, is expired on the 17th of July. And no renewal and no work authorization, please advise. Well, I can't speak on the work authorization because I don't know what your friend, applied for. Did they apply for an adjustment of status? Did they apply for the right category with work authorization? So there's a lot of variables to that. But again, even though their prima facie might be expired, a new one will come. Generally, it takes sometimes a few months after the expiration for it to come. Okay. And Destiny, you're asking the same question about your work authorization, where you got a third prima facie, and now it's expired, waiting for the fourth. It didn't come. Could you explain what happened? It will come. Sometimes it doesn't come before the expiration. Sometimes it can come a few months later, but that's fine. That's not something that I will be concerned about for any of my clients. Okay, as long as you have your first initial prima facie established, you'll be good. And Kosana says, do you have a program of payment for those who are not financially stable or discount rates? So with consultations, we don't, but we retainers, we have different options for payment that we're always happy to discuss with you once you schedule a consultation and we determine that you do qualify for something. Okay. My husband petitioned for me and my daughter, but USCIS is only requesting an affidavit of support, and medical for her, but not for me. So these are two different applications. One caution, Supermom, I'm going to assume that you're both here in the United States since you're asking for medicals. Whenever people say, oh, my husband or my wife is filing for me and my child, a child under 18, what you have to understand is that even though that child is not their child and the child is a step parent, they're considered an immediate relative. So both of you they can come under your application. They're independent applications, meaning he can file only for her and not file for you. He can file only for you and not file for her. They're two independent relationships, two immediate relationships he has. So they may want her medical, but they may want to do an interview with you, or they may they may ask for your medical later, So again, they're two separate applications, and because they've asked for hers doesn't mean that there's something wrong with yours. I don't know what the affidavit, the financial, what his finances are and why they're asking, because I'm assuming maybe at the time he applied, they had already included you as a spouse. I don't know what is on your I-864. So without knowing more, I won't be able to give a proper analysis as to assuming, let's say, you don't get one or you've not gotten one, why she's getting one, because all of this is based on your family size. Your family size income requirement changes from when you're a family of 2 to when you become a family of 3 or 4, etc. All right, I can only get one more question, guys, and then I got to jump off. So let me find a good one. Okay, so Tweezy says, how long does it take a green card holder to get their citizenship if married to a citizen? How long after filing? So first question, so these are two questions in one. The first question is that if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you have a green card, you can file for your citizen application 3 years. So you have to have been married to the person for 3 years, and you have to have been a green card holder for 3 years. If you meet both requirements, you can submit your application. When you submit your application, most naturalization cases take anywhere from 12 to 16 months on average. Sometimes we see some really super early one where you put in the application and 2 months later, they always get scheduled for an interview. So you can be one of those lucky ones. Last week we had a client, get approved for naturalization 2 months after we put the application. So it varies, but within 12 months though, majority of people will probably get scheduled for an interview. Okay. All right, guys, I enjoyed chatting. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll probably come back on live. I think on Friday I'm going to come live. Same time, 10-ish, 10:15-ish. So if I didn't get your question, come on live on Friday and I will be happy to answer. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And again, if you want to schedule a consult, call me 407-995-6567. Thanks. And